Hello and welcome to another episode of Ask a Nac Doc. I'm Jeff Patterson, Chief Executive Officer for Nacogdoches Medical Center and the NMC Health Network. And I'm here today with Dr. Keith Fishbeck, orthopedic surgeon. Welcome.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So you've been in the Nacogdoches area since fourth quarter of 2023. We've really loved having you here in our community, but tell me more about your family.
My wife is a part-time dentist over in Anna Shirley's office, and then my 4-year-old's well involved in the Christ Episcopal School, and now I got my 2-year-old he's a bull in a china shop anywhere he goes.
Well, like most young parents, me being one as well, you get your hands full, but outside of the personal side, your professional side, you just finished your training. Can you tell us about your medical school and your other training?
Yeah, so I did medical school at TCOM in Fort Worth, and then I did my residency in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and then I did my sports medicine fellowship up in Cincinnati, Ohio. And then as soon as we got that far north, we wanted to make sure we got back down south to Texas.
And we're glad to have you back. And from some of the training, I know you worked with some sports teams when you were in Ohio, but what kind of specific training did you get within that fellowship?
Within my sports medicine fellowship, we pretty much did complex shoulder, complex knee. So specifically in sports medicine, shoulder replacements, multi-leg knee reconstructions, cartilage restoration, anything that goes from basic knee scopes all the way up to the real big complicated stuff.
And you joined Azalea as a group. Can you tell us more about your partner?
Yeah, we have 27 different providers in our group. Me, Dr. Hurst, and Dr. Overturf are here at Nacogdoches 100% exclusively. And then we have a few that come in and out of town, but mostly our spine guys.
One of the blessings of you being in town is now your affiliation with SFA Sports Medicine. Can you tell me about your involvement there?
Pretty much once I got back and I got here into town, I pretty much reached out to SFA and I was like, hey, I'll be glad to be involved. I do weekly training rooms there, covered quite a few basketball games for the women and men, and continuing the sports coverage. It's been cool. It's something that my training was really involved. It's what brought me to the orthopedic sports medicine field. And I love having that aspect in my practice.
So you're doing sports medicine, but I understand you were also an athlete in a former life?
Yeah, I was a former football player, former wrestler, and former powerlifter. So I was very competitive in those back in my day.
We're very glad to have you in town. Is there anything, if you're speaking to a prospective patient about your practice philosophy, is there anything you'd like to tell them? Because obviously we're excited to have you here in town.
So I think the big thing I tell my patients as a sports medicine fellowship trained orthopedic surgeon, we're all different kind of athletes. Whether you are the grandma who wants to walk the malls, or if you're wanting to power walk, or if you're wanting to play pickleball, or if you're wanting to play recreational soccer, I'm here to get you back to that quality of life you had before your injury. So whether that means you need something minor, injections, surgery, rehab, that's what I'm getting you back to after this injury.
We are so glad to have you here, Dr. Fishbeck, and thank you for being here today, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Ask a Nac Doc.